Go again.
Hi Year 6, welcome to SATS Week. I'm sure this year though will go down in history as the first year many tests were scrapped. Even in my day, many moons ago, we had a test, but it was called the 11+. Now we've had tests in Year 6 for as long as I can remember. So, during this week, we normally do our tests in the morning, we'd be very focused, but in the afternoons we try and make it a little bit more fun for you. So we do a little bit of revision, ready for the next day's test, and then some sort of art project. This week is no exception, although it will be a little bit more down to you. So, here's what we're going to do. Here's our overview of our Banksy art project. You can do it all, which would be absolutely amazing, or dip in as you wish. When we finally get back to school, we may even be able to do some real Banksies on the outside walls of Zone 6. You may remember last year, and let me see if I can find it very quickly. Remember last year's, we did some graffiti around the walls of Zone 6. So when we get back to school, hopefully we can do some. So let's just go back to our overview page. So I'll give you a little bit of what's going to happen. So, first bit, you need to do a bit of research. Find out a little bit about Banksy, what his inspiration, and his styles. And we're going to focus on 3 styles during the week. First one will be this one, where during your research, you might find your favourite. We're going to create one of those. The next time, we're going to create his famous shredding picture. Not necessarily with the picture that he did, but we can use any picture we like. And another is styles, we're calling the hole in the wall style. And then on the last day, you can choose your own. You might want to do something linked with the NHS or another cause that you're interested in. So that's just a little bit of overview for the whole week. Each day there'll be an extra little video explaining that style and that piece of art for the day. That's it for now. See you next time. Bye for now.
So, today we're going to have a little bit of a research about who Banksy is. Now, one of the reasons why this is such an interesting artist to learn about is that actually no one knows who Banksy is. So his identity is completely unknown. So lots of people have tried to guess who he is. Lots of people think they might know who he is and where he lives, but actually no one really knows. So Banksy is a famous but anonymous British graffiti artist. So he produces pieces of work in public places, like on the walls of buildings. And his art is usually trying to send some kind of message. So we'll have a look at some of his different pieces of artwork and see if we can try and work out what message he's trying to send. I want you to pause the video and have a look at this first piece of artwork. What message do you think Banksy is trying to get across here? Well, by looking at this, you can see it's a young child crying. So at first you might think, oh, if they're crying, maybe they're upset because they've lost a game or they haven't got their favourite toy or they've fallen over. But when we look at this a little bit more closely, he's got a phone in his hand. And at the top, it's got like a social media bar saying he's got no likes, no friend requests maybe, no one's commented on whatever it is that he's put on. So for me, this is starting to make me think about the fact that actually this child's not upset because of something that's happened in kind of real life. He's upset with something on social media. So I think this is Banksy trying to talk about the dangers of social media and how actually we shouldn't really be letting children on social media because they're too young. What do you think? Right, this second piece of artwork is one of my favourite ones actually. It's really interesting. So first of all, you look at this and you think, oh, lovely. There's a child in the snow, he's got a sledge, must be having a lovely time. However, when you then look at the full picture, which is actually painted on the corner of a building, you can actually see on the other side of this painting, you've actually got a bin set on fire, and actually what's that that's coming down into the child's mouth and onto his hands? It's not actually snow, it's ash. Okay, this is another interesting message that he's trying to send, potentially about pollution and about the damage that it causes. So if we look at this next one, Again, pause the video, have a think. What do you think that this one might be trying to say? Well, for this one, obviously you've got the word park, and there's a little girl swinging on the letter A. But then you've also got the ing at the end, parking, and you've got all these cars in the car park. Now, for me, and you might have a completely different interpretation, for me, this is trying to send the message that actually, are we turning too many of our parks into parking and car parking? Again, it's another piece of artwork all about the environment and what we're doing to our environment. This next one is actually a really recent one. So this was only done last week at the Southampton General Hospital. Now, again, pause the video, have a think. What do you think this painting, what message is this trying to send? Well, this one for me is showing that you've got a child playing with their toys. He's got a Batman in there. There's a Spider-Man as well. And they're normally the kind of superheroes that he's playing with. But now, because of everything that's happened in the world at the moment, he's not playing with a traditional kind of cartoon superhero. He's playing with a nurse or a doctor. And he's playing with one of these key workers who are keeping us safe at the minute, because at the moment, they are our heroes doing everything to try and keep us safe. So, as you've seen, quite a lot of Banksy's pictures all have a really strong message. Some of them, however, are a little bit fun. So this is one here where he's got a mouse or a rat causing absolute havoc in the bathroom. So some of them are a little bit silly as well. So hopefully you've seen from all these photos that his style is graffiti. Okay, he might use a stencil, but it is all graffiti-based artwork onto walls, onto fences, and kind of places that you might just be walking past every day. Now, there's a bit of a debate about whether graffiti actually counts as artwork or not. So I'm going to put a link on the Class Dojo page and on Google Classroom. I want you to follow that link, and there's a YouTube video discussing whether is graffiti art or is it just making a mess. Okay, I want you to have a think about which one you think. Do you think graffiti's art or not? And we're going to set up a bit of a debate on Google Classroom so you can tell me what you think. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that whistle-stop tour of who Banksy is, or actually who he isn't, because we don't actually know who he is, and looked at a few of his paintings. And over the next few days, we're going to learn about different paintings in a bit more detail, and we're going to have a go at our own. Right, see you later.